Okay, right now, yeah, all of you, good evening. So, can you able to hear my voice, right? Online students, online students. So, can you able to hear my voice, right? Okay, fine. Right. So, yesterday, yes. Okay, yesterday I said about numbers. I said about numbers and working with the digits, right? Yesterday I said the problems related with the numbers and digits. I said the problems related with the numbers and digits here. Okay, numbers and digits. So these are the things what we have seen in the last class. Okay, I've said some examples and even I uploaded notes in my Telegram. Now this is my Telegram ID and you find day before yesterday's notes and yesterday's notes. Okay, and I've given some examples to the homework. Like I said, write a program to reverse a number, write a program to find input number is a palindrome or not, write a program to find input number is a perfect number or not, write a program to find input number is a magic number or not. Okay. So I hope you have done these examples. Okay. Now next, yes, all of you. Yesterday logics are clear. Let's try to respond here. Yesterday's logics are clear. How to read the digits. Okay. Yesterday's logics are clear. Like how to read the digits from the number, how to read the digits from a number and how to manipulate the digits and numbers. Okay. I think you have done these programs, reversing number and finding input number is a palindrome or not. Okay. Write a program to find a number is a perfect number or not. Write a program to find input number is a magic number or not. So please try to do these examples. Okay. So that you'll be knowing everything related with the numbers and digits. Okay. Yes. I'll explain. Don't worry. I'll explain the recursion. Okay. Right. Now today, yes, please try to understand here. Now, most of the technical interviews, okay, most of the technical round, they ask you some questions. I'll explain recursion. Don't worry. Shape can. Okay. I'll explain. Don't worry. Okay. Okay. Right. I'll explain the recursion. Don't worry. But before that, okay, no problem here. Okay. So reversing integer binary resulting into a new integer. Okay. Yes. Let me tell you now, most of the interview questions, okay, most of the interview questions or most of the interview round, they ask you most of the questions, okay, related with, right. So most of the interviews, they ask you most of the questions related with what you listed. Okay, most of the questions they'll ask in what list. Okay, list and the same list. Okay, other languages, they treat this as what array. But in a Python, list. Okay, list is one collection. Okay, list is one collection. Okay, which contain heterogeneous data and which contain homogeneous data. Okay. Now, today we'll see some of the problems related with what list. Today we'll see some of the problems related with a list. Okay. So today I'm talking about list and list related. Okay, list and list related problems. Okay, list and list related problems. Okay. Today we'll discuss list and list related problems. Okay, all of you, yes or no? Yes. Okay, today we'll talk about list and list related problems. Okay, now see here. Now, if you see the problems in, for example, if you take gigs for gigs, okay, if you see the problems like in gigs for gigs, you find so many problems related with what list only, right? See here, find the duplicates in what arrays. Okay, sort an array. What is the next question? Sort an array of zeros and ones and twos. Okay. Leaders in what? An array. And majority element. K the smallest element. Okay. All these problems related with what here? Arrays only. Like suppose missing number in array. Find indexes of subarray. Okay. All these are problems related with what? List. So most of the questions are belongs to what here? List. So as a developer, you should know how to solve a problem related with what list. See here. Now you find some programs here. So these are the programs related with what list. See here. Now Python program to intention the first and last element in a list. Python program to swap two elements in a list. Python program are ways to find the length of a list. Ways to check if the element is exist in the list. Okay, Python reversing the list. Python program to find the sum of elements in the list. So Python program to multiply all the numbers in the list. Python program to find the smallest number in a list. Python program to find the largest number in a list. Python program to find the second largest number in a list. Python program to find the n largest number from a list. See here. Python program to print even numbers in list, odd numbers like this. Lot of programs related with what here? List. Now first, let me tell you first. Okay. First, I just give you the brief introduction about what list, and then we'll talk about list related problems. Okay. So now my question comes here is, okay, what is list? What is list in Python? The question comes here is, what is a list in Python? Now you have to answer it. Tell me, what is a list in Python? Let's try to answer in chat window. What is a list in Python? Collection, sequence of elements. List is ordered collection, mutable. List is a collection of elements, mutable. List is a data structure. Okay. List is a collection of values. List is a collection. List is a collection. Sequential mutable data type. List is one of the predefined class and belongs to list category data type. Duplicates allowed. Okay, list contain ordered collection. Okay, yes. Yes. List collection of elements separated by comma and stored in a square brackets. Very good. Okay. Now there are different definitions you have given. Okay, you have given different definitions. Almost all the people have given proper definition only. So here I am writing, list is a which data type? Mutable. List is a mutable sequence data type. What is a list? List is a mutable sequence data type. Okay, what is a list? List is a sequence. What is a list? List is a mutable sequence data type. What I'm saying is list is a mutable sequence data type. Sequences. Now Python collections are classified. Tell me, Python collections are classified into how many categories? Tell me here. Python collections are classified into how many categories? Python collections are classified into how many categories? Ah, number 6, 3, 6. Python collections are classified into 3 categories. One is called as a sequences, right? Priyanka, right? Second one is called as what here? Sets. And third one is called as which one? Mapping. Okay. So sequences, sets, and one more is a mapping. And the sequences are again two here. One is a non-binary and one more is binary. Okay. Suppose if we take sequences, sequences are how many? Sequences are how many here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. What is that list? Okay, list, tuple, range, string, byte, and byte array. List, tuple, range, byte, byte array, and string. All these are called which data type? Sequence data type. And in this, you have a mutable sequences, and you also have what? Immutable sequences. In this, you have a mutable sequences as well as what? Immutable sequences. Okay. Let me tell you. List is a mutable or immutable? Mutable. Mutable means after creating list, after creating list, changes can be what here done. After creating list, changes can be done. Okay. And next is list is which data type? Mutable sequence data type. What is a sequence? What is a sequence? What is the meaning of sequence? What is the meaning of sequence? Order. Sequence represent what here? Order. It means in list data is organized. In list data is organized. In which order? Sequential. In list data is organized in sequential order. In sequential order. Okay. And not only that, you'll say list is a okay, list is which collection? Ordered collection where insertion order is what? Preserved. Where insertion order is what here? Preserved. Okay. List is a ordered collection where insertion order is what? Preserved. This insertion order doesn't changes from one insertion to another. So where this insertion order is preserved, what is the meaning of insertion order is preserved? Suppose if I am adding 10 in the list, 10 will be added in which location? First location. If I'm adding a 20, 20 will be added in which location? Second location. If I'm adding a 30, 30 will be added in which location? Third location. If I'm adding a 40, 40 will be added in which location? Fourth location. It means the order of insertion is the same or different? Same. Okay, the order of insertion is the same or different? Same. So that you'll say it is which collection? Ordered collection. But when you work with unordered collection, like which one? Set, where insertion order is not same. If I am adding a 10, 10 will be added in one location. If I'm adding a 20, 20 will be added in one location. If I'm adding a 30, 30 will be added in one location. If I'm adding a 40, 40 will be added in what? One location. It means, is it insertion order is the same or different? Different. What I added first 10, Next I added 20, then 30 and 40. But how it is stored in the list set? How it is stored in the set, in the same order or different order? Different order. That you call it as which collection? Unordered collection. Where the order will not be the same. Where the insertion order will not be the same. That you call it as which collection? Unordered collection. Okay. So in application development, in application development, okay, in application development, okay, list is used to group, okay, list is used to group, okay, to group individual, to group individual, to group individual objects where insertion order is, where insertion order is what? Preserved, comma, duplicates are what here? Allowed, and allow to access sequentially, allow to access sequentially, and which one? Randomly. Okay, when list is used in application development, list is used to group individual objects where insertion order is preserved, where insertion order is preserved and duplicates are allowed, and allows to access sequentially as well as what? Randomly. Then use what here? List. Then go for which one? List. Then you go for a list. And list, okay, list is both. List is what here? Homogeneous. Okay, list is what here? Homogeneous. List is homogeneous. List is homogeneous, and it is also which one? Heterogeneous. It is homogeneous as well as what here? Heterogeneous. Homogeneous means it allows which elements? Similar elements or similar values, which allows similar values is called homogeneous, and heterogeneous means which allows what? Different values or different types of objects. So that you call it as what? Heterogeneous. Okay, na? So I said, this workshop is both theory as well as practical. Everything will be covered. If interview asks you what is a list, if interview asks you what is a list in Python, what is a list in Python, you'll say, list is a mutable sequence data type. And after creating list, changes can be done. And in list, data is organized in which order? Sequential order. List is an ordered collection where insertion order is preserved. In application development, list is used to group individual objects where insertion order is preserved and duplicates are allowed, and allowed to access sequentially and what? Randomly. And list allows both a similar type as well as what? Different type. Now this is what you need to tell. If interview asks you what is a list, this is what you have to tell. If interview asks you what is a list, list is a collection. Okay. Collection, list is a collection, right? List is a collection type. List is a collection type, and it is one data structure, right? List is a collection type and list is one data structure. What is a data structure? A data structure defines some set of rules and regulations for organizing data in memory. A data structure defines set of rules and regulations for organizing data in what? Memory. That you call it as which one? Data structure. Okay. In memory, in list, inside memory or inside a list, list is created inside memory or not? Yes. In list, how you are organizing the data? In which order? Sequence. Is it sequence is one data structure or not? Yes. Sequence is one data structure. Okay, that is what you mean by list in Python. Is it clear this? This question is clear? Answer is clear? All of you, yes or no? Huh? This is clear? Any doubts? You want to ask any question in this definition? You want to ask any question? You ask, I'll clear, then I'll go for next one. No doubts, right? No doubts. Then next, okay, next, then how to create? How to create a list in Python? How to create a list in Python? Okay. Now, how to create a list in Python? See, all these are containers, right? All these are called which one here? Containers. All these are containers. Okay, list is a container. Yes or no? List is a container. What is the use of containers? Generally, containers are used for what? Storing. What is the use of containers? Containers are used for what? Storing the data. Yes or no? And transporting the data from one place to another place. For example, you have a bus. Bus is a container. Okay, bus is a container which contain passengers. Yes or no? Bus is a container which contain the passengers, which transport the passengers from one place to another place. In application development also, in application development also, you want to transport the data from one place to, from one layer to another layer, or from one function to another function. Suppose there is one function which contain 100 objects. There is one function which contain 100 objects. I want to pass those 100 objects to another function. I cannot send one by one, right? Will it send one by one? If you send 100 objects one by one, will it take a lot of time or not? Yes. Then what do you do it? You put all these objects within one container and then you send it. And not only that, what is the advantage of grouping? The advantage of grouping the data is performing some aggregate operations. The advantage of grouping all the data is performing aggregate operations. Suppose I try to create a list of, suppose I want to represent a list of scores. I want to represent the scores. Okay, 11 player scores. Then I represent 11 player scores in one list so that I can perform some aggregate operations. Like I want to find out the total score. I want to find out who scored minimum score. I want maximum score. How many players are scored more than 10 runs? How many players scored more than 50 runs? What is the average score? I want to do all this. What is the second minimum? What is the maximum? I want to do all these operations. Then how can I do all these operations? By grouping in one container. And what is that container here? List. Those are called which operations? Aggregate operations. Those are called aggregate operations. Okay. And all collections in Python, all collections are called, called which one? Iterables. In Python, all the collections are called which one? Iterables. Iterable, which implement which protocol? Iteration protocol. Iterable, which implement which protocol? Iteration protocol, which allows to read individual objects. Or iterable is given to the iterator. What is this iterator here? For loop. I can give this collection to the for loop so that for loop can read every time one value. An object which can be given to the iterator, that you call it as which one? Iterable. And that using that iterator, you can able to read individual values, which implements iteration protocol. Okay, all collections are iterables, and this implement which protocol? Iterator protocol. Okay, now you tell me, can I write for, x in 10? Can I write for x in 10? Can I write x in 10? No, right? Because 10 is what? One or collection? Is it 10 is one value or collection of values? Is it 10 is one value or collection of values? One value. It is one value, right? So is it one? One means what? Scalar. One means what here? Scalar. Scalar, right? Scalar types. What are the scalar? How many scalar types are there? In Python, how many scalar data types are there? In Python, how many scalar data types are there? 5. What is that 5? Integer, float, complex, boolean. What is that another one? Null type. How many scalar data types are there? 5. Int, float, complex, boolean, and none. So these are called which data type? Scalar data types. Okay, this represent not more than one value. This represent how many values? Only one value. And all scalars are immutables. Now let me come to this. Complex number. Complex is a data type which represents what? Complex number. In Python, you can create 3 types of numbers. integer number, float number, complex number. And this complex number having how many values? Two values. One is a real and one more is what? Imaginary. One is a real and one more is a imaginary. Okay, that is what you mean by complex. Somebody is asked what is the meaning of complex, and that is the meaning of which one? Complex, which consists of two values. One is a real and one more is what? Imaginary. Okay. Yeah. Is it this is clear, all of you? Okay. Up to this, is it clear? Everyone? Okay. Next, how to create a list? How to create a list? Okay. Yeah. You understood what is iterable? You understood what is iterable, right? Okay. So what is a sometimes they may ask you difference. Sometimes they may ask you a difference. What is the difference? What is the difference between iterable and iterator? Tell me. Sometimes they may ask you a question. What is the difference between iterable and iterator? Sometimes they may ask you this question, right? What is the difference between iterator and iterable? Okay, generally iterators are used to read iterators are used to read data from which one? Iterables. Iterators are used to read the data from where? Iterables. Iterators are used to read the data from iterables. Iterables represent iterable represent collection of iterable represent what your collection of data. Where the data is in iterables. Okay. Where the data is in iterables, but you are using iterators only to read the data. So iterators doesn't have which one? Data. Iterator doesn't have a data, right? Iterator doesn't have a data. It is try to read the data from where? Iterables. So every collection is called as one. So this is where you find the difference between iterator and what is it? Iterable. Okay. Yes. Okay. Iterators are used to read data from iterables. Iterables represent collection of data. And iterators doesn't have what here? Data, because it is used to iterate data from where? Iterables. Okay, na? Suppose in application development, okay, now suppose assume that there is a file, there is a file, or suppose there is a list. If you take this is a list, you can read the data directly from the list. You can also read the data by using which object? Iterator object. So iterator object. Now you give this iterable to whom? Iterator. You give this iterable to whom? Iterator. You can give this iterable to whom? Iterator. You create an iterator object by using which one? ITER. What is the name of the function you are using? ITER. Now this ITER function return which object? Iterator object. And using this iterator object, you can iterate all the values from where? List. I'll explain with the example. Don't worry. Okay, let me tell you first this. How to create a list in Python? So most of the students, they have answered that. How to create a list? I'll explain with the example. Don't worry now. Creating list. Okay, list is represented. Okay, list is represented. See here. List is represented using which one here? Square brackets. And this you call it as which list? Empty list. Second one is list within square brackets. Okay, within what here? Square brackets. Within square brackets. Okay, list of values. List of within square brackets. Values are represented. Values are represented by separating with by separating with by separating with what? Comma. Can represent values by separating with what here? Comma. You may write 1 comma, 2 comma, 3 comma, 4 comma. Third one is using, okay, using list. What is that here? Comprehension. Okay, third one is using list comprehension. And fourth one is using, okay, list constructor or function. Okay, list constructor or function. You are using list, or you can use list followed by which one? Iterator or iterable. If you want to convert other iterables into which type list type, then you are using list function. Now this will create a empty list, and this is used for converting other iterables into which type list type. This is used to convert other iterables into which type? List type. And third one is using list comprehension. Okay. Now this is how you create a list. See, I want to ask you one question, right? Okay. If you want to create object, generally, if you want to create an object, you need to use what? See, if you want to create an object, you should use what? Class. You need to use a class or not? Class. Class is a data type. Class is a data type. Using class, you create what? Object. Using class, you create what here? Objects, right? For example, if you go for object-oriented programming, okay, I develop one class. Which class? Employee class. What is the name of the data type? Employee. How can I create object of employee? How to create object of employee? I'll say EMP1 equal to what is the name of the class? Employee. Now, this is how you are creating object of which class? Employee class. This is how you create an object of which class? Employee class. Because here employee is what class? And this parenthesis indicates creating of which one? Object. Creating of object by invoking constructor. Okay, now. But for creating any object in Python, like suppose I want to create integer object. Are using integer class? For creating integer object, are using integer class? Yes or no? For creating integer object, are using integer class? No. For creating a list object, are using list class? For creating list object, are using list class? No. No. Why you are not using? Because these are standard data types in Python. What these are? Standard data types. For this standard data types, Python having a special syntax. For this standard data type, Python is having some special syntax. Special syntax. For all data, suppose if you go for NumPy, in NumPy you want to create array. How you create an array? By saying NumPy dot, you try to use one function called which one? Array. Or you try to use one data type. What is the name of the data type? ND array. ND array. You are using directly a class. What is the name of the class or data type? ND array. But is it any special syntax for creating object for array? No, because this is not a standard data type. Because this is not a standard data type. How many standard data types are there in Python? How many standard data types are there in Python? 15. 15 standard data types are there in Python. 15 are there. 14 or 15 are. All integer. See, integer, float, integer, float, integer, float. Next is what? Complex. Okay, complex. Fourth one is what? Boolean. Fifth one is what? None type. Sixth one is what? List. Seventh is what? Tuple. Eighth one is what is the eighth one? Range. Okay, range. Okay, ninth one is what? String. Okay, 10th one is what? Bytes. 11th is what? Bytes array. Bytes array. 12th one is what? Set. And 13 is what? Frozen set. And 14 is what? Dictionary. So total, how many standard data types are there? 14 standard data types are there. And this 14 data types, Okay, this 14 data types, this 14 data types having a special syntax for creating object. This 14 data types having special syntax for creating object. For that, you don't require to use which data, you don't require to use what? Data type. The standard data types, you don't require to use a data type. How you are creating integer? You are saying a equal to 10. A is which type? Integer. A equal to 10 means A is which type? Integer. If I'm writing B equal to 1.5, then B is which type? Float. If I'm writing a C equal to 1 plus 2j, C is which type? Complex. If I'm writing some D equal to true, then D is which type? Yes, no declaration of type. Okay, if I'm writing E equal to none, then E is which type? None type. If I'm writing F equal to parenthesis, square brackets, then it is which type? List type. If I'm writing G equal to some parenthesis, then it is which type? Tuple type. If I'm writing F, I have to use data type. What is the type I should use? Range. I have to use a range here. For string, you are saying EFG. Now this is H, and I'm saying some I equal to within double quotes. If I'm writing ABC, it is which type? String type. If I'm writing prefix with a B, now this is which type? Byte type. Okay. K equal to, I'm using a data type here. What is the data type I'm using? Byte array. I'm using a byte array. When it comes to the set, L equal to, if I'm using curly braces with one value, then this is which type? Set type. Okay. M equal to, I'm using a data type. What is that? Frozen set. Okay. If I'm using N equal to within curly braces key, and what is that? Value. This is called which type? Dictionary. See here. So are you using any data type? Are you using any data type? Tell me here. Are using any data type for creating integer object? No, because Python is having a special syntax. Oh, Sandeep, Python is dynamically typed. Python language execution environment takes the data. Oh, sorry, Sandeep. Sorry, Sandeep. Okay, what you're saying, Sandeep? Python is dynamically typed language. Okay. Oh, come on here. What is the meaning of dynamically typed? Sandeep. Ah, okay. You said no. Now this is your definition, right, Sandeep? Python is dynamically typed language. Sandeep is saying like this. Okay. And Python language execution environment takes a data type based on the programmer using values. Is it correct? Is it correct? Is it correct? Is it this definition is correct or wrong? How many say yes? Wrong. This connect. This definition is wrong. This definition is not correct. Okay. Because no. Array, come on here. Array, what is dynamically typed is array. Come on here. Statically typed, dynamically typed. This dynamically typed, statically typed is belongs to what? Variables. Variables. It is not belongs to what? Objects. Okay, na? See, I am writing integer A. You declare A as which type? You declare A as which type? Integer. You are telling the compiler A is which type? Integer. Yes or no? You are telling the compiler A is which type? Integer. Suppose if you are working with a Java, I'll say A equal to 100, fine. But if I'm writing A equal to 1.5, if I'm writing A equal to 1.5, Java compiler gives left and right. Java compiler gives left and right. It gives the error. Because you said compiler A is which type? Integer. Then hold which value? Array, hold which value? Hold which value? Huh? Hold which value? Array, you said compiler is which type? Integer. But hold which value? Integer only. If you assign float, Java compiler gives what? Error. Because Java is which language? Statically typed language. Statically typed language. You need to tell the compiler variable is which type. But when it comes to the Python, you are saying A equal to 10. A is which type? Are you declared A is integer? Are you declared? Will you say integer A in Python? No. You'll just say A equal to 10. Then A is which type? Tell me, A is which type? Integer. A is which type? Integer. If I'm writing A equal to 1.5, if I say A equal to 1.5, what happened? What happened? The type is changed or not? Yes, dynamic. Dynamic. Type is changed from integer to what? Type is changed from integer to what? Float. That is called what? Dynamic. This is called which one? This is called as which one? Dynamically typed language. In statically typed language, a variable is bind with only a variable bind with fixed data type. This type of variable will not be changed. If you are saying integer A hold only which value? Integer value. Okay, na? In dynamically typed language, you don't declare your variables doesn't bind with any type. So the type is based on the object what you assign. The type is based on the object what you assign. The type is based on the object what you assign. If I'm writing A, if I'm writing A equal to which one? Employee. Then A is which type? Or A is which type? Employee type. A is which type? Employee type. Is it type is fixed? Or come on here. Is it type is fixed or changing? Is it type is fixed or changing? Is it type is fixed or changing? Changing. Changing how? Dynamically. Dynamically based on the type of object assigned. Now you tell me your definition of, if interview asks you, you tell me the definition of, you tell me the definition of statically typed, dynamically typed. Tell me here. According to you, what is the difference between statically typed and dynamically typed? In statically typed programming languages, there is no declaration of what? Variables. Or variables doesn't bind with one type. Dynamic is not fixed, but in static, it is what? Fixed. Dynamic means that only here. Okay. So the type of variable changes based on the type of object what it hold. The type of variable changes based on the type of object what it is hold. Okay. Getting or not? Understood or not? All of you are getting what I'm telling you? Are getting what I'm telling you? Is it clear this one? Statically typed and dynamically typed. So this is where you find the difference between statically typed and what? Dynamically typed programming languages. Is it clear this one? Right? Actually, I supposed to tell this, but you said something else, right? Okay. No problem. Srinu P, if anything is there, you put in chat window. Don't ask, don't raise the hand, please. Huh? So, all of you, is it clear this one? Why Python is called as an object-oriented language? Why Python is called as object-oriented? Or a what here? What is object-oriented, Abhijit? What is object-oriented? What is object-oriented? Object-oriented is, what is object-oriented? Object-oriented is not a language. Okay, now object oriented is not a language. What is object oriented? Object oriented is a programming paradigm. Object oriented is a programming paradigm that defines set of rules and regulations for writing programs. How you write the programs in Python using which principles? Object oriented principles. How you write the programs in object oriented by using which principle? Object oriented principles. How you write the programs using in Python by using object oriented principles. Is it clear this one, all of you? Okay, na? Okay. So how you write the programs in Python using object oriented principles. Because of that, it is called as which language? Object oriented language. What are the principles of object oriented? Encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance, class, object, abstraction. All these are the principles of which one? Object oriented. Okay, na? So, right. No problem. Come to this topic here, list. Okay. But here we are not using any type. But without using a type, are you creating a list or not? Alright, without using a class, can you create object? No. But here I'm creating object or not? Without using a class, can I create object? No. But is it I'm creating object or not? Yes. But how? By using some special syntax. Now, who understand this syntax? Python virtual machine. PVM. Who understand this? PVM. That is Python virtual machine. Whenever you write anything in square bracket, the Python virtual machine understand this as a list. Anything you write in parenthesis, Python virtual machine understand this as what? Tuple. So there is a special syntax for which data type? Standard data types, but not for other data types. If you want to create object of this employee, I must use the data type called which one? Employee. So I cannot use any special syntax for creating object of which one? Employee. Okay, na? Right. So list is created. How it is created? By writing within square brackets. And the square brackets represent which list? Empty list. Empty list. Okay, na? Right. Then next, let me show you like creating a list in different ways. And then we'll see some problems related with the list. Yeah. So students, like dear students, right? Is it useful for you or not? First tell me that. Is it whatever content I'm giving you, is it useful? Okay, for okay, you people, is it useful? Are you learning extra things? Extra things are you learning or not? Huh? Okay, right. Okay, right. Okay, next. Okay, next. I'm just telling you how to create a okay, creating a list. General in Python, list is created by using square brackets, and this represent if I'm printing a list one and type of list one. Yes. Okay. Now this is a list and this is which list here? Empty list. Okay, right. Thank you. Okay. Now see here. This creates an empty list. And I'm creating a list too where I'm saying 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now this is a list to contain how many integers? 5 integers. Okay. I'm writing a list 3. 1 comma, some Naresh comma, some Python comma, some 6,000. Okay, now this is a list 3. And is it this list is having similar values or different values? Different values. Now this you call it as heterogeneous. And this you call it as which one? Homogeneous. This is called as a heterogeneous and this is called as a homogeneous and this is an empty list. Okay. And you can also create a list. You can also create a list by using list, list Naresh. Tell me what will happen. What is Naresh? Is it a collection or not? Yes. You are converting string into what here? List. You are converting a string into a list. Where if I'm saying print list 4, what list 4 is having? How many strings are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Yes. List 5. Okay. List 5 equal to list of. I can create a list by using another list. I can create a list by using another list. If I'm saying a list 5 and this list is having how many values? 5 values. That is 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Is it clear this one? Okay, how to create a list you understood here? Huh? Yes. Okay. By using a split can we build a list, Shivaji? Sir, by using split can we build a list? How you build a list using split? How you build a list using split? Shivaji, you are asking question or you are by using split can we build a list? Actually, splitting string. See here. That is not creating list array. What is my question here? How to create a list? I'm saying how to create a list array. I'm saying how to create a list. I said about how to create a list array. To create a list, I need to use these methods. I'm not saying if you split the string, you create a list. Okay, that is not creating a list, right? That is not creating a list. Okay, split create a list. Okay, anyway, does create split create a list, but no. Split means what you are splitting. If already one list is there, you split into what? Number of sublist. Number of sublist. Okay, na? Suppose if you split a string, what will happen? You'll get a, if you split a string, what you'll get a, if you split a string, what you'll get? Strings or not? Yes. Okay, split. If you want to split, if you want, see, split is not for creating list here. I don't think you are not understanding. Okay, split is not for creating a list. Split is used for what? Splitting. Wherever empty, it will be splitted. Okay, no, not like that. Split is not for creating a list. Split is used for, split is used for to try to divide a list into a number of sublists. Yes or no? If you are trying to split a list into a number of sublists, that is done by using split. Okay. Sublist is also list, but you are not creating a new list, right? पंकज अरे यही होता है यार आमिरपेट में यही होता ये आमिरपेट में ऐसे ही होता पूरा आमिरपेट में ऐसे ही होता ओके no what I'm telling you is in Amirpet what will happen is how to yeah my question is how to create a list. I want to create a list. Okay. Python said how to create a list means Python is given only how many approaches are given by the Python? Python people are given how many approaches? How many approaches are given? How many Python people are given how many methods? Four. Four only, right? Who's given this? Who's given this Python only, right? Who's given this? Python only. Means who's the father of Python? Gadawan Rasum, right? Okay, he said that you can able to create a list in how many ways? Four ways. But when it comes to Amirpet, Amirpet, in Amirpet, every uh, person is Gadawan Rasum only. Okay, na? Okay, they used to tell you can also use a split for creating list. What is my question here is creating list, right? How to create a list in Python? If you say in front of interviewer, if you say split method is used for creating list means he'll put one paper and show me how to create a list using split. Then what you do is your thing is you create one string. Okay, A B C dot. What you write? Split. A B C dot split. Then where you want to split? You require a separator or not? Yes, A comma B comma C. Where you want to split at comma. Okay, at comma. Then what it is doing? It is returning one list with what? A, B, and one more is what? C. What it is returning? A list only, but with what? A, B, C. But what is my requirement is what? Okay, na? That is what I'm telling you. Okay, split functionality is different. If you want to split a string into a number of, if you want to split a string into a number of strings, one string into number of strings, one apple, one apple, you want to cut into number of slices. One string, you want to split into a number of strings. That you can do it by using split. Yes, yeah, Shivaji. Yes, only. I'm not saying no. Okay, na. Okay, even if you convert string to list also, it will create a list. Okay, na? So that is what I said here. You are converting, you are creating a list by using which function? List type. You can create a list using list type. And using this, you can convert other iterables into which type? List type. You are converting list 2 into which type? List type. Yes or no? Okay. Suppose if this string is not there, using only split, can you create a list? No, no. Shivaji. Yes or no? Huh? You are not understanding. Type is list only. The output of split is which type? Output of list is which? Output of split is which type? Output of split is which type? List only. Output is list. But are you creating a new list? New list are you creating? Are you creating a new list? No, no. You're not creating a new list. I want to create a new list using split. Can you do it? No. You have to take a string and then you have to. Okay, that is different here. Okay, now, so people, okay, don't divert your mind. Question should be clear. When you tell the answer right, it must be clean and clear. It is a new object only, but how you get that object? How you get that object? How you get that object? Okay, how you get that object? Is it a new? It is a new object only. I'm not saying it is existing. How you are getting that object? By splitting the string. By splitting the string, you are getting that. If you are thinking like that, there are so many methods are there. You know, Pankaj, there are so many methods are there in Python which return list. There are so many methods are there in Python which return what? List. Will you tell all those methods for creating list? No, no. Yes or no? No. For example, if you are reading, suppose you are reading data from CSV file. You are reading a data from which file? CSV file. When you read the data from CSV file by using a sequence, even copy also written list. Very good. Shahid. अच्छा बताया यार. Copy also written list. So returning and creating, there is a difference, right? Okay, now if you read data from CSV file in a sequence, what is the sequence there list? It's not that, right? Okay, no problem. Okay, yes. Now once you create a list, sorted also written list. Sorted, Sarthak, very good. Even sorted also written list. Read lines also written list. Very good. You only saying, right? Then will you say read lines? Using read lines, I'll create list image. It'll say get out. Yes or no? Don't say like that, dear. Uh, so that is, first of all, you are not understanding creating. Creating, just born. Just born. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. You have to understand creating. Ganesh Reddy. Very good. So creation, you have to understand first. Okay. Okay. No problem. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We wasted. Okay. Now, once you create a list, okay, if you want to do operations on the list, one thing you have to remember, if you want to do the operations on a list, okay, you need to know how to read the data from a list. How to read the data from a list. Okay, yes. Creating list is only done by using square brackets, or it is done by using what? List constructor. That's it. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now next, just see here. How to read the content from the list. How to read content from, how to read content from a list. Now, whenever you are talking, you see, if you want to perform any operation, you need to know how to read the content from the list. So how can you read the content from the list? How can you read the content from the list? You can read the content from the list in different ways. You can read the content from the list in different ways. One is by using index, sequence, right? Second one is using slicing. Third one is using for loop. Third one is using for loop. Fourth one is using iterator. Fifth one is using enumerate. Fifth one is using enumerate. How many ways can you read the content of the list or a sequence? You can read the content of a sequence. I can say list R, what is that? Sequence. Index, slicing, for loop, iterator, and one more is what? Enumerate. Now, this is questions which are asked frequently. Tell me the difference between indexing and what? Slicing. Sir, iterator or for loop are same or not? By using this five way, we can read the list. Enumerate returns value along with the index. Enumerate returns values along with the index. Index, no, not index. That is not called as index. That is called as a count. Starter. That is called as a starter count. Don't say it as an index. Okay, right? Enumeration. We'll see this. Okay. See, all these are frequently asked questions. Okay, they may ask you slicing, we get multiple values, right? Very good. They may ask you what is the difference between indexing and what? Slicing. What is the difference between iterator and what? Enumerate. When to use a for loop, when to use an index. Okay, they may ask you the questions related with this. Okay, na? Yes. Okay. Now, this list is a mutable. Now, all sequence data types, all sequences are which collection here? Index based collections. All sequences are what here? Index based collections. Index based. What is index? What is index? What is index? Serial number, Manoj, serial number, position of the element in the sequence, position in the sequence, value of position of element. Yes, very good. Okay, okay, yes, very good. Yes. Each value, each value or location, each location or each value or location in, okay, in list or sequence is identified with unique, number, is identified with a unique number called which one here? Index. Okay, index is an integer number. Index is an integer number. Integer number. This number is used as a subscript. This number is used as a subscript for reading and writing data inside a list sequentially. Okay, or sequentially or what is it? Randomly. So what is index? Okay, each value or location in list is identified with a unique number called index. Index is an integer number. This number is used as a subscript from as a subscript with list as a subscript to read data to for reading. Okay, sorry. Subscript for reading. Okay, for reading and writing data inside list sequentially as well as what? Randomly. Sequentially as well as what? Randomly. Okay, sequentially as well as what? Randomly. Okay, yes. Is it clear? This is what is the index is? Okay, now this index starts at 0. This index starts at 0 when reading. Okay, when reading from left to what here? Right. Which is nothing but forward direction. This index starts at minus one when reading from right to left, which is nothing but which direction? Backward direction. Okay. Yes. Okay, clear up to this here. Index starts at 0. When you are reading from left to right, and index starts at -1 when you're reading from right to left. So that is nothing but forward direction, and one more is what? Backward direction. Okay, na? So up to this, is it clear? All of you? Up to this, is it clear? Okay, because a lot of questions related with list. We'll see all the questions, like we'll also see the problems in gigs for gigs as well as lead code. Okay, na? But before moving to those problems, I just wanted to give an idea about how to work with the list. Okay, na? Right. But anyway, I think today I'll just stop here, all of you. Okay, today I'll just stop here. Okay, and tomorrow no class, and Monday we'll have the class. Okay, next week Monday we'll have the class. Okay, Monday, Tuesday, when a next complete week. See, I'll be continuing these classes. Until we see some problems. Okay, now. Okay, I'll be continuing all these problems will be continued. It may be 1 week or 10 days or okay, any number of days. But I want to tell you some more okay problems so that you can able to understand. Okay. Okay, right? Okay. So don't think that it is only 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days. Okay, I'll be continuing these classes and I'll be telling you so many examples related with this. Okay, right. And last two workshops notes are there in my Telegram. Please join in my Telegram. This is my Telegram ID. Okay, now. Okay. See, we'll see all the problems. Okay, now. So don't think that I started list right. After list, we'll go for strings. After list, we'll go for strings. Okay. After list, we'll go for strings. And after strings, we'll see some problems related with, okay, like number system, like decimal to number, decimal to binary, binary to decimal. Okay. All these things we'll see it. Okay, now. Okay. Yes. This is my Telegram. So please join this Telegram. Okay. Right. So this notes, today's notes also I'll upload in the Telegram. Please just read before coming to the class. Okay. I'll complete that also. Okay. Today there is no homework. Okay. When you'll start NumPy Pandas patch, okay, that is management. When management sets, I'll start. Okay, now. And recordings, I'll ask management to give the recordings. Okay, right. Okay, now. Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. We'll see you on Monday. Monday, we'll see. Right. Thank you. Thank you. All of you, thank you. Good night. We'll see you on Monday. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Pankaj. Thank you. Tell me, Mahesh. Tell me, Ganesh. One doubt. Tell me your doubt. Thank you. Good night. Okay. No, my Telegram is public group. You can find search in Telegram. Search open Telegram app and search you find it. 11 a.m. class is there tomorrow. It is there. Shivani, it is there. You can join. You can join here. Or you can join with this link. I'll just give the link just here. Okay, this is a link. With this link, you can join. You can join with this link. Okay, you can join with this link. Okay. Okay, right? Okay. Right. Thank you. We'll see you on Monday. Thank you.